Hey family, give me a high five. I bet you there's 5 people that you can think of that you can share this with. We want to make it easy for you to ask a question. Just put it right there in the chat. We may not be able to answer all the questions, but we'll do our very best. Hello family, Pastor George here. I am so excited. You know I'm always excited about these episodes, but you ever heard this term? Your health is your wealth. Every day you are blessed with 86,400 seconds in a day and you cannot get a refund. You always hear people say this. They'll say that money's really important to me, but they told you that they'll give you the money, but then you have to die at the end of the day. You wouldn't take that. So you have to learn how to balance your time, your health, and your wealth. And there is no better person I could think of to be able to do this. We have with us today, Charlie Brookins. Charlie, how are you doing?
I am blessed, Pastor George. How are you?
Good. I am so excited that you're here. And hey, everybody, by the way, she's an executive. She's a certified health coach. She's an author. Boom, right here. Got the book right here. Faith, Food, and Fitness. And then also graduate, Northwestern University.
Absolutely.
That's right, the Midwest, just like that. And then UCLA as well.
Absolutely.
And in doing that, but also one of the things also that I also know that she does very well at, multitasking mother and doing that and having children. And then I always say this, but I know it sounds corny, but you know what I love about her the most? I really like her husband. Her husband is awesome. So we're going to learn practical steps about health and how to have your health work in your benefit. Charlie, I'm starting it off with, you know that holidays come about.
Yes.
There are holidays, different things happen, and
Right.
then there's people, I'm going to say, fall off the wagon
Yes.
a little bit. So I want to have us talk about ways and learn practical steps of how to operate in different things during the holidays.
Absolutely.
So you want to pick any particular holiday, but then I want to let you know before you do, I'm a foodie, everybody. So I'm going to add a couple of holidays onto it.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about it.
I think when we think about holiday survival, we're in a season right now, but there's holidays obviously throughout the year. But the main thing is planning, right?
Right.
You fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
So the first thing is, number one, especially if it is the holiday season, what you don't want to think about is losing weight, right? Because it's not going to happen. You're setting yourself up for failure because it's challenging, right, during this time. So instead, think about weight maintenance. So if we can get through these holidays and not gain weight, then that's a win.
Right. I think that's a very interesting point. I want to come back to this. That you brought up something I want everyone is to write it down. And then I'm sorry, if you're under 40, just type it down. No, we don't write nothing down. Is that we have to do certain things and have a plan.
Yes.
Because I'm just letting you know, when you come into Thanksgiving, you got to kind of think about it and then kind of have a plan and then just maintain where you're at. Because people tend to just throw things out the window and just go, I'll just worry about, I'm going to start later. I just can't stand it. I'm going to start later. Yeah. You guys have to start right now.
Absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
And that's the other mindset thing is cheat days versus choice days. And I don't believe in cheat days because cheat days are, it already sounds bad, right? So it's something that I'm going to do bad and people overindulge. Like I'm going to cheat and then they feel bad the next day and then it's hard for them to get back on their, whatever their choices are versus a choice day. You make an intentional choice. I'm going to indulge today. And that's okay, right? And then I'm going to repent and refresh because the Lord says repent and refresh. And then the next day, I'm going to make other choices. I'm going to get up. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to do my walking. So if we look at these holidays as choice days versus cheat days, then we have intention about how we approach it. Gotcha. Right? Yes. And so then we can approach it in a way that actually will give us benefit and give us pleasure at the same time.
So I'm going to throw that in there though real quick, you guys, because point number one that we learned is there's something between a cheat day and then also making choices. Yes. I love that how you said that don't do any cheat days.
Yeah, no choice days.
You want to know something?
No cheat days.
I'm going to later on tell you how much weight I've lost this year, but it's been more just making healthier choices. Yep. It's like I'll go somewhere, and let's say before I go somewhere where they have, when you have kids, you guys under at certain ages, you go to parties and all they have is pizza and candy. That's like the whole diet. Yes. So you know what I do? I sit down and eat a very nice meal. If you guys pay attention the whole time, she'll explain what a power plate is. But I eat a nice, healthy meal first, or eat a salad first. Yep. Then I go to those places, so I'm just not starving and just eating all those type of things. Absolutely. So I'm making choices. Yes. Because every day when we talk to kids and we talk to adults, we say, every day you get a choice and a chance and how you make those choices make a big difference.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
That's good.
So now we're thinking about whatever holiday it is. I use Thanksgiving because it's very easy to, everyone can relate to.
Thanksgiving.
And there tends to be an abundance of food.
Right.
So back to the planning. So the first thing is planning on what you're bringing. Right? And making sure you're bringing something that adds value, like pleasure, but also some health. So I bring the kale salad. I brought the kale salad for 15 years. I bring it and people want the kale salad.
Right.
So even if you're not doing anything that's like traditionally healthy, look on Google, find a healthier way to do it, but be a part of the change you want to see.
Right.
So you're bringing something healthy to the table. Good. Now we're like the day of the holiday. We're starting with Thanksgiving. What are you doing that morning? We are not starving ourselves in waiting for Thanksgiving, which is often what we do. We don't eat because I'm going to go in at Thanksgiving. Our bodies aren't built for that, right?
I feel like she's telling on me. I said I don't eat the day before because it's like I'm warming up to come in there. Okay,
no,
that's great. Okay,
have a healthy, protein-rich breakfast. So have a green leafy goodness smoothie, have an omelet, have some avocado toast, have some oatmeal, something so that your blood sugar is not super low when you start the holiday and then you're on that roller coaster. Right. So you want to make sure a healthy breakfast, and then we get to the event, right? So there's going to be different spreads. Don't spend a lot of time on the hors d'oeuvre spread, right? Because we don't want to get full on that. So just take one little plate, right? And if there's something that you're used to, you don't have all the time, put a few items on and then walk away from the table, right? So we want to keep it small. We want to keep it, again, the special things. If you I don't do deviled eggs, but someone's deviled eggs is there, then have them there, right? Because you're looking forward to that. So we've done our hors d'oeuvres and moved on. We're drinking water.
Right.
That's good. Or sparkling water or spa water, right? Throw some cucumbers in there, make it special. But we don't want to waste a lot of our calories on Kool-Aid, right? We want to make sure that we're filling our bodies with water in between all of these things that we're enjoying as well.
Good. So, all right. So let me just outline this again for Thanksgiving. And then also, by the way, I just want to let everybody know I'm black, so at a black household. So when you go on the table set, so you got turkey sitting right there. Then you have stuffing sitting there. Then you have cornbread. Then you also have cranberry sauce. And then, just type in the chat if I miss anything. Then you got the gravy, right? Then you got the gravy. Then some people are going to either pepper up some steaks, some things like
some
that.
ham.
Then put the ham in, okay? But this is the thing. My mother was a very good cook, so I always liked Thanksgiving or liked to eat. So I've listened to you over the years, and that's what I do, is that you guys start the morning with a protein shake, okay? And you're doing that. That's what we said, that was our tip number 2, I'm gonna say. Well, start with a protein shake and then do that. Don't go there starving hungry. Then he said, then also at the back of the table, they got flavored sugar. They just literally got either cherry or just literally sugar poured in there with a little bit of flavor. But we're going to drink water. You even said spa water. So then you show up at the event, you thank everything, then we bless the food. Then what we do is I love this, because everybody, this is practical steps, is that there are certain things you like. If you want that turkey, you can get it. If you want the gravy, you can get it. But you see, the difference is if you get a whole plate and it's falling off the sides, and you don't normally eat a meal like that. My question to you is, what does that do to your stomach? And then that happens. So what happens is, if you get a smaller plate and then sit down, and then you didn't say this, but I'm gonna throw this in just for free, is you guys actually chew the food. You know what I mean? We got people just eating. I don't know about your relatives, but I'm saying just eating the food is you can sit back and enjoy the food. Then actually you can set the food down and talk to people. Because I think this is a second thing when you eat a lot of food is this. I think you're actually full and you just keep eating because of the image it was there. So is that true?
Let me break it down. Gotcha. So even if you don't have a small plate, so when you look at these plates, they also have an inside and an outside.
I'm sorry, I never noticed that till just now.
So we have the 9-inch and then we have the 12-inch.
And this fits perfectly.
Absolutely.
Oh,
so you can use the big plate because they may not have the small plate except at the dessert table, but we'll get there. When you get to this fabulous buffet that you just laid out for us, George, you want to look at the food first. Right? Don't just start piling stuff on your plate. Make a plan. And you talked about the power plate. So we want half that plate to be vegetables. We want a quarter to be our protein and a quarter to be starch. Now we may pile up a little bit, right? Because that's going to be over here.
So this is pie?
That will be on our dessert plate.
Okay,
we're just talking about our power plate.
I was asking for other people. I was asking for the people on the chat.
So we have our colors, right? So we have, there might be some yams in there on this side, but we want to make sure we get some greens. So we've got half that plate, mainly greens, maybe little yams. Right. We have our turkey in our hand, but we're not taking the whole plate with the turkey in the ham. We've got a quarter there, and then we've got the cornbread stuffing, maybe rice and gravy, or however you do it. And then if you want to do it, throw the brown and serve roll on the top.
Right.
But just as you said, you take that plate and before you start eating, bless it, yes, but see it. Right. So it's going to be relatively full. It's Thanksgiving. It's okay. But again, sit with somebody that you haven't seen in a while. So you do engage in a conversation. Right. And per what you just said, it takes 20 minutes for your brain to register fullness. So if you are just like, ooh, eyes big, gobbling it down, you've been back for the third plate before 20 minutes, then you probably were full with what you had here. Right. And there's an Asian proverb called Hari Hachibu, which is eat until you're 8/10 full. So you don't.
I'm sorry, one more time. Hari
Hachibu.
So eat till you're 8/10 full.
Right.
I learned.
Right. Like another quotable. But it's important that taking that, slowing down, savoring your body digestion starts in your mouth. So you have to chew the food down. So again, at the end of the day, you're not laid out and uncomfortable. Right. So we want to take at least 20 minutes, have a conversation, and ideally you're done, right? You're going to feel full. You don't need to go back for seconds and thirds. Sure. But then there's dessert, right? So we take our little plate.
Okay, we back. We
right?
back.
We take the little plate, and there may be 5 options, right? What are the 1 to 2 options that you never get? You can only get them at this meal, right? So we want to focus on those 8 to 10s. I've got to have the red velvet because I'm not going to have red velvet any other time. Right. We're going to do a sampler plate, right? We're not going to take full slices of everything. We're going to do a thin slice of the sweet potato pie, a thin slice of the bread, whatever are those things that you enjoy. And then we only need to take 3 bites of them, right? Because after 3 bites, the pleasure centers are it's the same thing. It's really good the first bite, and then it may still be good the second bite. After the third bite, it's I always say 3 and then and free. Walk away from it because you've had a chance to enjoy it. Right. So we want to get all of that in.
3 and then free. I love that. So I'm gonna go back to that, and then also I'm gonna tell you 2 other things that you also said that I think are helpful. Also, if you guys notice when you're doing the gravy and everything is, actually take a spoon and set it in the gravy if you're the one working. So then people will actually take, do you guys know that you can take gravy and actually spoon it out instead of just pouring it over the whole thing? Yes. Those certain things. Just like I learned with salad dressing, to get it on the side and then
take a fork and
just put it in there, because these little differences make a lot.
Absolutely.
And then also in doing this, now I just want to talk about the seriousness about what we're talking about. Everybody, I'm going to start naming some things. High blood pressure, cholesterol numbers, HDL, LDL, and I want you to comment on these, as I don't know much about them. Those are things that I had that were very high. They're just you're just doing certain things. So a way to lower them is for you to eat right. And then do it consistently and not fall off in that area, because you're seeing so much with that. It's because everyone's just eating all these things. So if you notice, we didn't say you couldn't have turkey, and we didn't say you couldn't have ham, but just these are the reasons why. And also, can you also help with there's some reasons why somebody would want to eat healthy on Thanksgiving, and then I want to come back and tell you a little bit. Then we're going to move beyond Thanksgiving, but I want to tell you a little bit about what also to do Thanksgiving to also eat healthy. I'm sorry.
So again, it's about the choices. So if we have, again, before the holiday, we have powered up those plant-based foods, we haven't had a lot of saturated fat, that allows us to enjoy, if you think of 80% of your meals being healthier, then this is going to be in the 20%, right? And you can enjoy it without doing things to your blood sugar. And it's key, right? So we want to make sure that we enjoy this day. Don't take home a lot of leftovers, all right, because we don't want to prolong it. So this is our choice day to indulge in food, and then the next day we're going to get up, we're going to drink that water, we're going to go for that walk, we're going to have a healthy breakfast, we're going to focus on fiber. We're going to focus on plant-based foods. Again, so that whatever we did the day before, we made a choice, a conscious, intentional choice, then we're going to make a choice the next day to make sure that we're right back on a healthier lifestyle.
Right. I'm going to say that. And then also one other area, and then I'll be done with it. So also what I do at Thanksgiving is just a little about what you said, but then also I don't eat as much meat as I do that day. And then I actually take Ziploc bags and just kind of put it in just where it's about, 3 to 6 ounces. Like we're eating smaller portions where you can eat that meal. The people that really like Thanksgiving say, hey, the next day I'm going to have another meal instead of eating all that food then falling asleep, and then I'm gonna call it a coma.
Yes.
Like you eat so much on the desserts, you just kind of fall out. Then you watch the there's certain football teams that pay.
Yes, they
Then
do.
you watch the game, but you fall asleep in the third quarter, wake back up when Dallas Cowboys, there's 2 games that come on typically. So then what happens is, then you go back and eat. Just get another small plate.
Yes.
I'd rather have 2 small plates instead of a large one, and then letting your body go through it in the system.
And chew, just like you said.
Right, and then chew.
Chew your food to a liquid, and that's going to be the right place.
Right.
And then afterwards, again, you don't want to go into a coma, right? So if you've eaten too much, then you're going to sit down, you're going to fall asleep, and then it'll be tomorrow morning. We want to move. So if you can go out for a family walk, even if you're washing dishes, right? You want to get your body moving because we've engaged in a lot of calories, right? Our metabolism is working really hard. You don't want to sit on that.
Right.
All right. You want to have some movement in the evening, but certainly in the morning, after you finally wake up, make sure you get out and move.
Right. So last thing about that is we're going to walk in the morning before we have our smoothie. We're going to work out, then go ahead and have that day, have fun, and then the next day we go back to working out. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So now that was Thanksgiving. Can we just fast forward? Then I just want to just have you address the other holidays so we get a plan going for them. Then people do Christmas. So I'm going to go Christmas meals. And then when I'm talking about Christmas meals, though, is can we talk about sugar for a moment?
Sure, let's.
I'm sorry to mention sugar is, and then also, you guys, I don't know if it's when you have kids, is everything they give you seems to be sugar on sugar. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they got sugar, they got cookies, right? With sugar on them.
Yes.
It's like, I'm telling you, I went last week to this party and they had candy, pizza, and then they had birthday cake, and I was watching around, all the kids had the little blue stuff around their mouth and teeth, and I'm like, wow, okay. You know what I mean? Like this. So in doing this, so we're going to do Christmas. I'm going to start just kind of hitting the list, you guys. Christmas, and then you guys, then New Year's, then Valentine's Day, everybody's birthday, your friends, relatives, then summer, 4th of July, and then I'll keep going through things. Then get out of school, back to school.
There's always something to celebrate.
Thinking about school.
Yes.
Somebody graduated party.
Yes.
Let's talk about a plan.
So there is a template that we kind of addressed a little bit in Thanksgiving that also applies to any party. And that I always say, be a snob about what you put into your body. So Christmas, it may be a similar spread. You can apply some of the same principles that we just talked about. When we're talking about, birthday parties and, Valentine's Day and Halloween, right? Then we're talking about sugar, right? And lots of sugar. And there are over 56 names of sugar. And the sugar industry, they're sneaky because there'll be sugar, and then there'll be dextrose, and then there'll be high fructose corn sweetener, and then there'll be brown rice syrup, and it'll all be in the same granola bar. So you have to read labels, and that's why I always talk about being a radical label reader. Don't put anything in your body until you know everything that's in it, because the sugar, it piles up fast. So sometimes we have labels and sometimes we don't. But if the color of the juice is not a natural color, like red and purple and
neon.
Yes, just know, or that green. What is that? What is that?
It's probably in the kids' teeth is all that color.
Yes. So we know that there are chemicals involved, and we know that there's sugar involved. And what sugar does is our bodies are, kind of made to absorb a certain amount of sugar because there's sugar in naturally occurring sugar, right? In fruits and vegetables, and our bodies actually do well with those because it also has fiber, right? Fruit has fiber, vegetables have fiber, and so we digest it well. But it's this man-made sugar, these 56 names of sugar that our bodies don't know what to do with. And because we ingest too much of it, our blood sugar, it's toxic. So the insulin shuttles it out stores it as fat.
Right.
So when we have all that sugar, that's when our bellies grow. That's when type 2 diabetes, again, is a part of that.
Can you be addicted to sugar?
Yes, I have one. I have a child who, I mean, and because our senses, sugar actually lights up the same receptors as cocaine in our brain. So it is absolutely highly addictive. And so we eat sugar, and then our bodies get used to it, and it wants more of that. So it's very similar to, in terms of addictive substances. Obviously it doesn't impact your body the same way, but it is absolutely addictive. And our bodies get used to a certain level, and that makes us feel good. And then we want more of it because it's similar to, a chemical
As your
substance.
bodies get older, it's just tougher to do it. So, in all the time of talking, and I pray that you're learning and writing these things down that Charlie's saying because of this, is I look at me younger, how I would eat candy, and then and then I'll mention Halloween. Is they have something that's actually legally sold. They had something actually called candy corn. See, I was a real candy person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like pure candy.
Yes.
Like, hey, you like chocolate? I'm like, no.
What?
We talking candy corn.
Yes.
We talking orange slices. Just all I need one person in chat. I just need one. Orange slices.
Yeah,
that's sugar on
sugar. Yes.
Like Butterfinger, like just pure sugar.
Yes.
And so I played athletics, so I would eat the stuff before games. But when you play an NCAA, like you're playing that, you can burn it.
Yeah.
Now, I can't burn.
Yeah.
I don't practice 4 hours a day.
Right.
I'm not wearing, and then also, I don't know if I was crazy. I'm not wearing a weight vest. I used to walk around with a weight vest on. Like I wouldn't imagine doing that now.
Yes.
I used to feel like I had one on. But so you're seeing how sugar is. So
yes.
What are some ways to kind of eliminate that from your diet, or just what are some alternatives that you would do? And then I'll give you some that you've said before that I put into practice. Everybody.
Well, the first place to start is liquid sugar, right? Because if we can just, 47% of, packaged products or liquid products have added sugar, right? Yep. So if we start with liquid, if we focus on water, and again, spa water, you can do things to it, but really getting that sugar out of the liquids can do a lot. So I know that impacts soda and impacts sweet tea, but you can do other things, right? So we sweeten it with other things.
Right, but I gotta go back to what you said, is that what I did is when I drink water, but I really take to heart, everybody, what you said. And then also I want you to think about writing down 3 to 5 things that you're going to practice now from watching this. One of them is to drink water. So like if I go somewhere, like we went to Mississippi for the water thing, so then what we'll do is we'll find out if I go somewhere and they're famous for it, then I'll have 1 glass of that. Yes. Like if it's pineapple juice or something like that, but then you can also do an alternative, like do a smoothie, but then you're getting protein and everything else in it, and it's not full of all of that stuff from concentrate.
Absolutely.
So one, be a snob, but then also balance it out and see if you can do a smoothie in that area instead of just eating a pineapple shake. Maybe get a pineapple smoothie. You know what I mean? And then you can balance it out a little bit. But no,
and I like what you said, George, in terms of that's a choice. You are going on a trip. You are checking out what's there. So that's the difference of there can be indulgences, but that's not every day. So every day needs to begin with my main liquid is going to be water.
Right.
I may have or tea. Right? There's lovely teas that are naturally sweetened that you can make iced tea out of that don't have artificial sweeteners or added sweeteners. So, so that's an option. So that's the first thing. The second thing is there are plenty of fruits and vegetables that are sweet, right? Beets and carrots and, on the fruit spectrum, every fruit for the most part, is sweet on some level. And you don't need to add, if you're making a smoothie, you don't need to add honey to a smoothie. Put some frozen blueberries in it. Right? And
so I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a high five from her in a minute, because there's 2 things that I implemented, and then I'm gonna get 2 high fives from her. Okay, so first is I started freezing fruit and then eating it. Okay, so first of all, everybody, before Derek, Pete, and these people get all mad at me, so if they have fruit on sale, I buy twice as much and I just freeze it.
Yes.
That way I got the sale price, and then I got to do it. Because one of my kids actually came into our house and said, "Daddy, we want to go to McDonald's and get a shake." I said, "What?" I said, "You know what? I said, what kind do you want? They said, we want a strawberry shake. We had the strawberries right there. I said, go upstairs. I'll be back. I said, I got it. I got you. They came down there. I took a little bit of ice cream, put some protein in it, and don't worry, I'm getting my high fives ready. This is my second one.
Yes.
And then I put a little green in there, a little bit of green stuff. Yeah. Then I put the strawberry, blended it, came in. Then I took a little piece of paper and wrote McThompson. Came down there to shake. Yes. She eats it. I love it. I said, don't worry. You're going to have one. You can have one every day.
As often as you want it, right? I'll give you 2 fist bumps on that one.
So what am I doing? What am I doing, everybody? You guys understand we taught a whole series called Generational Wealth. That's how we're teaching you how to build generational wealth. You have to pass 2 things. One is the money. The second is the knowledge. George, why are you talking about this on Health Day? Generational health.
Yes.
I'm teaching them not only the food, but I'm modeling how to eat it. Yeah. Now what I do is, you should see me, I'm not just say a salesman. Now whenever I eat fruit, frozen fruit, I act so excited, like, let me get some. I'm like, no. And I was like, okay, Dad, I want some frozen blueberries. I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not giving one at a time. Right. Just because you see, that's how you operate with candy.
Yes.
You try to limit them.
Exactly.
So then when they find out that you got it, then they want to do that. Also, I use that on trips.
Nice.
When I fly and travel, when we get on the plane, I give them frozen fruit. Because you want to know why? The minute you get in the plane is, the opposite of frozen fruit is gummy bears. Because remember, there are all those colors that you said.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Charlie, my question next to you is what do we teach our kids these same ways to help them move off of that sugar to that? So I've thrown the alley-oop to you. You guys, freeze it.
Freeze it.
That, and then act like it's the world's greatest.
Absolutely.
That's what we can do. Right.
Frozen grapes are like popsicles.
Yep.
Like, just freeze them, and the kids, and you can dip them in peanut butter, and it's like a peanut butter and jelly yumminess, so you get some healthy fat, you get some sweetness, and it's a treat. And so children especially need we need to help them understand treats don't necessarily need to be candy, right? Treats don't need to be chemicals. Treats can be frozen grapes dipped in peanut butter. They can be 2-ingredient cookies made out of bananas and oatmeal with a little cinnamon. So it's about finding things that they enjoy and doing it together. Just as you said, you modeled it and getting them involved in the process. I always, one thing that my kids know is I'm going to ask them, where's the color on the plate? And that's what I'm trying to at least get them, in the mindset of how many colors. Like, look for, do you have your green? Do you have your orange? Oh, I have 2 colors. Because if they eat the standard American diet, if they eat I'm not going to name all of the fast food chains, but not a lot of color, right? In what they bring home from those places. Right. So it's like, well, where's the color? So that's another way just to get them, their eyes looking and thinking about, where are those? Because there's 5 beautiful colors. You want to eat a rainbow throughout the day. You want to get orange and yellow and green and purple and white tan. Like, all of those have different antioxidants for your body. Right. So for the kids, that's a great way to get them engaged in paint your plate. What do we have? Right.
So everybody, before we conclude, I want to say this. Do you see how you said paint your plate? Is the number one, we learned today that you want to have a plan when it comes to, like we talked about financial plans, you got to have a health plan and how you're going to do that. So we're going to paint our plate, and then we're going to model it to not only your children, but then also your spouse or also significant other, and then also you may have family members. Absolutely. A lot of times now we found out since the pandemic, like, your mother may live with someone, you may have your mother live with them, your sister, you may have other people, is start modeling that health. So also, just let you know I'm a good listener, is that start eating salads before you go to those places. And now it's like now if I'm going to go somewhere with my kid, you see how I eat a salad before? I'm saying, hey everybody, let's all break down and let's go ahead and break it down and get a salad. I talk to them just like how we would before we do the thing. And then I'm sitting there, you already know my wife is very similar to you. My wife already eats. I've already said my wife's going to live 100 and something. Right. She gonna outlive me more than likely. You and her are going to be friends a long time. But so you want to model that to your kids. Then if you're doing things, you want to make choices and not do a cheat day. Always just make choices and then do them, because it always works out. If I would get another fist bump. I was in Las Vegas at a financial advisor conference. I knew 2 things. The first day we're going to go to one of the best barbecue places in Vegas. Right. So what I do, ate a good, healthy breakfast, ate all the greens before I went down there. And then when they had all their sides, I ain't gonna get into their side. I'll pull this plate and get into their side.
Right.
But I also got greens there.
Yep.
And I ate that first, and then I ate the barbecue. So what you do is you start doing that. Then the next night they have ribeye. I love ribeyes, everybody. But I ate all the way good up until that part where I had that, and I counted that protein to still sit within a calorie range of doing that. So you can be healthy, have fun, and be blessed. Anything else you want to add to that?
I mean, it's about focusing on the wins. Like, where are you winning? You know, when I think people think, even my kids think about healthy as like a chore,
right.
It's a joy, right? It's a joy to find those things that you enjoy eating, but also are good for your body too. So look for the joy and look for the small wins. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Right. Everybody, the Bible says in 3 John 2, beloved, I pray that you prosper, be in health, even as your soul prospers. I pray that you learn something during this episode. Again, I ask that you share it with people also. And then, hey, we're going to come back and we're going to have another episode. Is it all right if you come back?
I would love to do that.
We're going to come back and we'll have another episode about being purpose-driven in your health. Hey, I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. God bless you. Hey, family, give me a high five. I bet you there's 5 people that you can think of that you can share this with. We want to make it easy for you to ask a question. Just put it right there in the chat. We may not be able to answer all the questions, but we'll do our very best.